Hi, I'm Regina Gloria, the director and founder of North Branch Projects, and this is an independently run project space that uses the book arts to expand people's creativity. We're open 6 days out of the week, so from 6 to 9 Monday through Thursday and from 1 to 7 on Saturdays and Sundays. It was important for me to be here in a street-level storefront space so that I could basically set up this stage where people can be exposed to the work that we're doing, to this creative process of making books. There are a couple of different things going on at North Branch Projects. The majority of the studio work that we do is to build a neighborhood archive, which is a collection of several hundred books, blank sketchbooks that people in the community are lending their hands in making. The books get thrown into the neighborhood archive. We have an equal exchange policy where if you make a couple of books, you can keep one of them for yourself and the other one stays at North Branch. A lot of the other book projects that we do engage people through the simple idea of asking questions. They begin as universal questions that everyone can have a simple answer to, but it's really interesting to see when people really think deeply about what it might mean to them to have to respond to something like the question of, what have you lost? We also offer classes and workshops. So generally you can learn the basics in bookbinding and get more specific with different kinds of books. So you'll learn everything from a single sheet fold to pamphlet stitches to Japanese 4-hole stab bindings to variations of codex style books like the Coptic stitch. It's basically set up so that you can learn a particular kind of skill one day, come back again a day later, a month later, even a year later, and learn another aspect of the bookbinding process. And so by the time they are finished with the 3 or 4 different steps, they'll have the knowledge and the skills to make a book on their own. The best part of doing a Coptic stitch is that we can make use of all sorts of materials for covers. In the past, we've made books out of traditional bookbinding materials like bookboard and book cloth. We've also resorted to old pizza boxes, signs that were donated to us made out of corrugated plastic. Basically anything that you could punch a hole into, we can turn into a cover for a book. And that's a really important aspect of what we do with the community, because we don't want to present something that's going to be expensive to make. People need to know that they can take anything that they find at home to turn it into a book. The thing that I love the most is what happens at the table, at the binding table, because once you get people in the door and once you get them in the stitch, all that other stuff doesn't really matter, right? You're there to make this thing, this book. People are learning how to bind and stitch, and they're learning about traditional bookmaking materials in order to become part of a group collaborative project. And that's really one of the most important aspects of North Branch is to get people to be in the same place together and using that creative process to begin talking about things. And it doesn't matter what background you're coming from and how much money you have or how little money you have, what you know of the arts or what you do know. It's everybody's kind of starting in a very neutral space. One of our goals is to raise enough money to offer free bookbinding classes and workshops to teachers in the area. So people from local elementary schools, there are a couple of high schools in the neighborhood. And if we can bring their teachers to come and take classes here and learn about what we do and the book arts and the creative process, then they can give back to their own communities. Your support would enable us to continue to offer free community bookbinding sessions so we can pay for the space and for the utilities and to offer free art supplies and bookmaking materials to the community.